Hi guys, Tracy here. Welcome to my English chat room. Today I want to talk about a drink that I have been really obsessed with. It's called matcha. So we have seen the rise of its popularity in recent years, especially in recent 2 years. We have seen some supply shortages and price surges. So I got really curious about how its popularity just increased within recent years. Okay, let's get some facts straight. Even though right now, when we think about matcha, we usually associate it with Japanese culture, matcha actually originated in China. In the beginning, it was called mocha, basically powdered tea. So it's green tea leaves shaded before it's harvested to maintain that color, and then you powder it and then you drink the whole thing. So basically you get more caffeine than drinking the tea without the tea leaves, but you also get less caffeine compared to coffee. Usually we feel a crash after a certain point, but when we drink matcha, it's a slower and steadier process. So it's a healthier type of caffeine intake process, I say. It also has a lot of antioxidants and vitamins. It's a superfood. Also, I want to say that there is the ceremonial matcha and the culinary matcha. So culinary matcha is usually for baking stuff that's matcha flavored, and ceremonial matcha is usually finer, greener. But in fact, there's no regulation that defines ceremonial or culinary. You can have a brand that say this product is ceremonial matcha, but maybe of lesser quality. So you need to pay attention to that. I had my first encounter with matcha latte when I was in middle school. I was using this English dubbing app where there was one lesson about ordering coffee in English, and there was one line about matcha latte, something like, "Can I get a matcha latte, please?" I was really sensitive to pronunciation. So I immediately captured the exhaustivity of those two words, right? Because latte is basically Italian, right? And matcha is from Japanese. I got really fascinated by the pronunciation. I didn't really like coffee back then, so whenever I went to a coffee shop, I would order a matcha latte. It never got to a point where I had to drink matcha every day, but nowadays it's like everyone can have a matcha every day, and I certainly would have my matcha every day. Even if I don't have the time, I can order a matcha bubble tea. I was just curious how all of a sudden it became such a popular drink. So I guess we have to separate into different markets. In the North American market, it really got popular during the pandemic, where everybody was locked down in their homes and they really started to care about health, and there are so many viral matcha making videos. People started to know about matcha, and the visual of making matcha, of just like having the matcha drink, is really appealing. It's green and it looks really healthy. There's sounds of the whisk. There's sounds of stirring the matcha, mixing the matcha with the milk. It's just a meditating experience almost, just by scrolling your TikToks. Some people claim that the popularity is because of its health benefits, but it has always had those benefits. Then why now, right? That's the main question. So I guess it started with a pandemic, and later more coffee shops offering it and more people posting about it make it really like a social trend to follow. Especially those supermodels. They are always drinking their matcha lattes. They have their own rituals to stay healthy. A lot of times when people drink matcha latte, there's usually syrup in it. Maybe it's not that healthy after all because you added all that sugar, right? But for the Chinese market, I think it's a little bit different. Yes, it's visually pleasing, but at the same time, the bubble tea chains, they are so good at inventing experiences, inventing new drinks for people. I got really fascinated by 3倍后磨 triple matcha. You get a really layered experience. There are so many other milk tea chains that are introducing matcha drinks. It's really difficult for you to replicate the drink at their different locations with the exact outcome. You have to ensure that it's the same flavor, same texture across the chains, right? Across the stores. But I think it's been pretty consistent, and the experiments definitely had a great effect, right? And I started to replicate those drinks at home. I have my whole matcha set, and it feels like a ritual when I'm making matcha by myself at home. And when I take a picture of it, it felt really satisfying, really gratifying. If you're interested in seeing me doing the matcha process, let me know. And I also plan to make a video about ordering coffee in English. Or maybe I should just talk about coffee in general, like this video. So let me know what kind of videos you like to watch. And I'm trying to just explore different topics. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I know it's a lot, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, we'll see you next time.